Coming up on Look Today, well, the Hudson Headwaters Health Network will undergo renovations as part of the Glens Falls Revitalization Project. I've got details. And Congresswoman Elise Stefanik held a roundtable meeting to address health programs. More on that coming up. And Saratoga Racecourse prepares for, guess what? Travers. Got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm J. Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Melissa Nicolason. She's a Saratoga area chairwoman for Fresh Air Fund. And we're joined by none other than Patty Leroy. She's a representative of the Fresh Air Fund. And they're here to talk about their seasonal program that allows inner city kids to experience the country. I also sit down with Scott Hayden. He's the president of the Adirondack Folk School. He's here to talk about upcoming events that are happening at the school. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. In our lead story, well, important renovations will take place in downtown Glens Falls in the coming months. Recently, the city of Glens Falls was awarded a revitalization grant of $10 million. As part of this revitalization project, the Hudson Headwaters Health Network will be able to spend $1.4 million on the facility at 90 South Street. Now, this building houses the Health Network's North Country's OBGYN services. Exterior and interior work will be done on the building, which includes upgrading the treatment center and demolishing a former car wash building to make room for adequate parking. Now, part of the cost for this renovation will be funded by that new revitalization grant. Well, we spoke to Dr. John Ruggie. He's the CEO of Hudson Headwaters Health Network.
We're just very impressed that Glens Falls as a city is a winner, and $10 million is available to renovate downtown in a major way. And we think we're really lucky that right in the midst of that renovation is 90 South Street, the facility that hosts our women's health program.
That's great news. In other news, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik held a roundtable meeting with representatives of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, the meeting took place at St. Joseph's Addiction Treatment and Recovery for Veterans Center. The meeting highlighted issues concerning the health programs that are available for veterans in our area. Now, the center has done much for veterans who struggle with drug addiction and PTSD. However, the consensus was that officials have to start thinking more outside the box and become more creative in providing better care for our veterans. Well, the issue of tracking the opioid crisis through health programs is highly significant in the area, and we're going to continue to report on this as we get more information. Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw a lot of overcast skies, so let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up and what it looks like for the weekend. We're going to head to our weather center in Glens Falls for a look at your first weather forecast. Back to the news. Well, guess what? Travers is this weekend, and tickets, as you might expect, are going fast. Travers Day is the most anticipated event of the Saratoga track season, and believe it or not, it dates back to 1864. That makes it the oldest major thoroughbred race in America. The purse, by the way, is $1.25 million. Well, we spoke to Lynn LaRocca. She's Senior VP of the Saratoga Race Course.
So we've got a great field of horses, we've got a great card of races in general. There are 7 stakes races, we've got beautiful weather, and we've got some of the best racing in the country. So if you want to be here, grab your tickets now before they're all gone.
Well, in other news, at the same track, different kind of news. The 11th annual ice cream eating contest was held yesterday. The event was sponsored by Stewart Shops. We spoke with Maria D'Amelia. She's the spokesperson for Stewart Shops.
The point here is really to eat a pint of Stewart's ice cream the fastest. Not how much, it's a pint, it's how fast you can eat it. And it's really amazing. There's 3 age categories. We have kids, teens, and adults to try to make it fair. But I'll tell you, there's been some years where the adults have finished this pint of ice cream in less than a minute. It's really fun to watch. People, they get messy, they have fun, and I can guarantee you there's going to be some brain freeze out there.
Up next, I sit down with Melissa Nicolason. She's the Saratoga area chairwoman for the Fresh Air Fund, and we're joined by Patty Leroy. She's a representative of the Fresh Air Fund. They're here to talk about their seasonal program that allows inner city kids to experience the country. I also sit down with Scott Hayden. He's the president of the Adirondack Folk School. He's here to talk about the upcoming events that are happening at the school. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. We're running a little tight on time, so I really have one look out. All this week we've been talking about the Lake George Music Festival. My wife and I went last night to see the performance. It was an amazing performance. The conductor, Roger, wove together samples from Beethoven, from John Adams, from Stephen Reich, and that electronic duo, Mako, in a kind of a seamless representation of a kind of music, a layering, and it was very exciting to see. The place was packed. Tonight is their last concert, by the way. I think it's at the high school. It's Mahler. What a way to go. And it's 7:30 tonight. So if you see this before 7:30, go, and if you see it after 7:30, too late. Tonight on Look TV, it's sold. That's our call-in auction program. You can call in great estate jewelry and coins. And don't forget, you can tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.